Hey guys, I want to talk to you about our homestead search over these past few years. We've seen a lot of great properties and a big range of different properties too. I also want to explain to you what appealed to us about each property and then also what the negatives were of each one. Now keep in mind that Art and I live and work an hour away from each other, and we've also been engaged for more than 2 years, and we don't want to get married until we actually have a home that we can start our future in together. And since he lives and works in one community and all of his family is there, and I lived and worked in this community and all of my family was here, and there's an hour between there, it was really important to us in the beginning to find something in the middle. When we first began our search, I was still working outside of the home full time. So we were looking at properties as close to the midway point as possible. But since that time, well, actually in 2023, I went full time on our channel. And so I now work 100% from home. And that now allows us to look a little bit closer to where Art lives and works so that he won't have quite as far of a commute once we actually find our forever place. So where Art lives is 1 hour southeast from me. And so there's two ways to get there. So there are actually, well, I'm sure there's multiple ways to get there, but there are two midway points. You can either go south from here through Tulsa and then east through Broken Arrow to get to Art's hometown, or you can go east from here through Claremore and then head south to head down to his hometown. So we did look at some properties at both midway points, and one is definitely more expensive than the other. And the closer we get to Art's hometown, the more affordable properties become. So, since he is the one who is still working outside of the home, it actually works out well that that's also where it's more affordable to live. We've also looked at a home that is literally a 2-minute drive to Art's work. So we're contemplating this one because even though we wouldn't be able to start a homestead right away, it would allow us to start our lives as a married couple while keeping him close to work until that right property comes along. And hopefully by that point, the channel will have taken off and we'll have the additional income to then go find a homestead property. So I'm going to show you the multiple properties we've considered, and I'll tell you the pros and cons of each, and then I'll let you guess which direction we decided to go. And then I'll be back next week to give you some updates on what is happening and what we're doing.
Okay, guys, here is the first property we're going to start with. I love this little neighborhood. So many established trees, nice walkable neighborhood. Not exactly what we had been looking for, but it could still be nice. And the backyard is what really sold me. Now, as you walk in, that's the living room we just went through. There's this room back here that I think would make an awesome playroom for our grandkids. And look, it's got two different back doors, one out each side. I love that. And we're going to take a look out back here in just a moment. Now, to be fair, when we saw this listing online, it looked a lot larger than it actually turned out to be. Now, Art's big problem with this one is that he does not think I'm going to be happy with this kitchen. He thinks it's smaller than the kitchen we currently have. I have some ideas right in this area, which is the dining room, that I think could make it so much better. And then here's the laundry room. I also, if you've seen our laundry room renovation and you've seen how we've made over our current laundry room, this one is quite a bit larger. And I think we could change it up to make the pantry larger and to make that whole space just a lot more functional. Now, if you've ever heard me talk, you know that I love a door out the laundry room. I like being able to come back in from my garden through the laundry room or like a mud room type situation. And this allows for that exactly. And then you see we've got a really nice concrete patio through here, another door into the garage over there, lots of space for the grandkids to play. Not exactly the amount of space that we would like for the garden and for homesteading, of course, but this property does back up to about 50 acres of wooded space that is owned by a college, but it sits way far away. So we actually have some ideas for what we could do back behind the fence line. I do really like this little deck that they've built in here around this tree. We were thinking that it would be really cool to build a table around that as well with some seating and everything. And then these French doors over here, those are the doors that lead into the master bedroom, which you're about to see. And just take a look at this yard for a suburban yard. Isn't it beautiful? Can you guys imagine my garden here? I know it's not as large as I would like, but I think we could do some nice things. And Art would like to build a gazebo off the master and maybe put a hot tub out there. And of course, we would have to trim some of those trees back to get enough sunlight back there for the garden. Now we're off to go see that master bedroom. See, there's those French doors that you saw from outside. Now, I will say this house is quite dated and it has the strangest master closet, but I think you could do something fun with that. I'm really not a fan of all of the gold fixtures and handles and faucets and all of that. That would definitely have to go. That is some outdated gold. I know it's coming back, but not that kind. And I want to show you this part. The only downstairs bathroom is this one, but I think it would be really cool where that door leads from the shower to the sink and then back out to the bedroom again. I think it would be awesome to do a Murphy door there. And that way, when guests come over, they would only have access to the toilet and sink area, but not actually recognize that it's attached to the master bedroom. So now we have made our way upstairs where there are two bedrooms and another bathroom. And we believe this room is the larger room. So we would probably let Elijah keep this one, and the other room would be my office. We're not real thrilled with the idea of having a two-story, but at least the master bedroom is downstairs. So let's do a quick recap. The pros for this one are that it's very close to Art's work. It's a really good price. It's in a nice neighborhood. There's only one neighbor on one side of the property, the other side is a creek bed, and then there's no neighbors behind. There's a potential to make a great profit if we flip it because this property is outdated. So it is in the lower price range for this neighborhood. So with just some minor upgrades, you could actually resell this house for quite a bit more than what they are selling it for currently. Another positive is that there is a room for Elijah and there's a fenced yard for Rocky. The cons are that it is a two-story, it is dated, and it has a smaller yard. The location is excellent, and the price for us is about mid-range. It would be the lower end of our budget, except that we would have to put some money into it to bring it up to date. Okay, now I want to show you this property that we looked at. You can tell the architectural design is very modern, so it definitely appealed to me much more than Art. But it was such a cool place, and I cannot find the photos that I took of the inside. But I can tell you it sits on somewhere between 5 to 10 acres. It's very wooded and just gorgeous out there. It's a beautiful drive out there as well. However, the downsides are that it is at the top of our budget. And out of all of the properties, it would be the one that is the furthest drive for art. But look at all the amenities. Isn't it awesome? So they had a zip line set up, a hammock, swings, fire pits, picnic areas, all these different rock seating spots. Plus, in one wooded area, they had a few storage containers stacked and ready to turn into something awesome. Okay, the next property I want to show you is this home that sits on a little more than 10 acres. The thing that appealed to us about this one is that it is very close to one of Art's daughters. It is quite a large house, probably way more than we need. I certainly would not look forward to cleaning that big of a house, but it definitely has a great layout and would give us plenty of space for all of our extended family to be around a lot. And with this one, I'm hoping to convince RJ to move home so that my grandbaby can be close by or in the same house, maybe. But what really appealed to us about this one is the shop. If only we could convince someone else in the family to buy the house, then me and Art could just go live in the shop and work the land. But what do you think about it? Let me know. This next one is another gorgeous piece of property, somewhere between 5 and 10 acres. And this one we will call the pecan grove because it is filled with pecan trees in the back. I think Art said that he counted at least 100 of them. So, of course, there is no house on the property currently, but there are two ponds and just lots of potential. Plus, the neighbors on either side are newer homes and very well kept. So, it's definitely a real nice area. This property sits right at the midway point between my hometown and Art's hometown. It's a 30-minute drive either way. It also comes in at the low end of our budget, but then again, there's no house on it. So we do have to take into account that we would have to build a home. Okay, we now come to the final property. When I first saw this one, I thought, oh, wow, Art is going to love this one. And then when I saw that kitchen, I was in love. That's my type of kitchen. Not the style, but the size. It's not as much land as we would like. It is less than 3 acres. But what do you think of this home? This video has already gotten so long, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and let you guys ponder over which one you think we went with. And I'm going to leave you with these last few videos as we walked the property.